this is the first part of our instructor utilization dashboard build. So we're going to start by adding data. So we're going to import data from Excel. And I've got a folder in my OneDrive for this particular report, instructor utilization. So I'm going to open that. And I'm going to select sheet 1 from that report. And I'm going to click transform data. Now we've got our Power Query Editor open. And before I do anything, we're going to first note that Power BI already applied 4 steps. So you can see if we click on the first step, it's selecting the source file, and then it's opening the table of sheet 1, and then it's automatically promoted our headers. So we can see here our headers on our report are in this first row, and then here Power BI automatically promoted those headers. And then it also changed the type of these columns. So when the report first appears here, you're going to see that the column types indicated by the little icon next to the column name is all ABC123, and it changed those types automatically based on the values in these columns. So we have like these ABCs, which are text values, and then we have the calendar icon indicating that these are date values in these columns, more text values, and then 1, 2, 3 indicating these are binary number values here. So the very first thing that I'm going to do is rename the sheet. So I'm going to rename it, and we're just going to call it the same name, instructor utilization. Same name as our report, same name as our dashboard, etc. Now we can do a bit of transforming. So a few things that I want to do first is I want to rename any columns that I might want to. So I'm going to right click on the column and use rename. And we're going to change this to class start date. We're going to change this to class end date. This is going to be class location. This is going to be simply constructor. This is going to be registrants. And this is going to be class maxcom. All right, now we've renamed those. I want to rename some of the values in these columns. So for class name, I'm going to go through this and replace values. So what I do here is I copy first value, and then I go to replace values. And I paste in value to find, and I'm going to replace with just the number. Just making it a little bit easier to read. I'm going to copy the next value and replace values. Change that. Okay, now let's make sure we found all of the values we want to replace. There's one more there. So we can narrow it down to just here. We can copy this, and then we can go over to filtered rows and we can delete that step. And then we can right click, go back to replace values and 304. Now we've replaced all the values in that column with just the number values that I want to have. All right, we're going to actually add some columns here too. So a couple of columns that I want to add. One I want to add, and it's going to be a column that's based on some values that are in this class location column. So for that, I'm going to go to add column, and then I'm going to do conditional column. And the new column name is going to be called class type. And then I'm going to use class location column. So if class location equals, I'm going to change to contains, and the value is going to be, if it contains in dash person, then the output is going to be in dash person. And then everything else is going to be virtual. So then we have two class types based on the values in the class location column. And another column that I want to add is going to be another conditional column. So I'm going to do conditional column, and this one is going to be called private, or actually let's call it public or private. And then the column name is going to be based on the class ID column. And if it contains, and the value that I want it to find, if it has underscore PR ET, that is going to mean that it is a private class, and all other classes are public. So we'll create that column. Now I have those two columns there. So that's perfect. And everything else is good, and our dates are formatted the way we want. So this looks good for now. If we need to change anything, we'll come back later. So I'm going to go click on home, and then I'm going to click on the close and apply. And we'll wait for that to update. Great. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to add a visual, and our visual is going to be a table. And we can drag this, make it a little bit bigger for now. And the data that we're going to add to this table is all of these columns here. So if we click on structure utilization, open that up, then we can add these to our columns here. And we can just click on these here. Get all of those added in there. And then once we've done that, now we can kind of move these around and rename them for the visual if we want to. So we've got all our data in the table now. So the next step is going to be to make some various adjustments to this table. And we're going to do that in the next video. So until then, see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.